Woke by in Wakamaka L press. Ishino L Guno. Ya in of Wanelu in Asia Satra.
Great farmers. My name is Dr. Obinna Ugwu. I am the animal health officer for Press in Ugwu State, Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project. And today we are beginning a series, animal health series. And of course, animal health is a key component in the project. Support to animal health service strengthening is a sub-component in a project implementation document of LPRESS. And the key objective here is to strengthen delivery of animal health services. Another is improve the understanding of the coordination between the animal, human, and environmental health services as embodied in One Health concept. Now, this will in turn increase productivity by reducing livestock mortality and morbidity. It will also improve the resilience of livestock and livestock-based livelihood to climate shocks, including diseases induced by climate changes. So this is why this topic or the sub-component in the project is very key and very important. So but we are going to on this day be looking at the concept of animal health, what animal health is and what animal health is not, because we know that somebody on the other side will think that animal health is all about disease, keeping animal away from disease. Yeah, that is what it should mean literally, but there are more to animal health than just the disease. So the animal health refers to the physical and the mental well-being and the proper functioning of an animal. So here we're looking at the physical well-being, we're looking at the mental well-being, and we're looking at the proper functioning of an animal. This will now refer to freedom from disease, freedom from injury, freedom from stress, pain, and other animal health compromising condition that possibly might be induced by dehydration or water related issues of malnutrition, either overnutrition or undernutrition. Then you have issues around environmental conditions, like extreme environmental conditions, in maybe extreme temperature, in terms of high temperature or low temperature, issues relating to genetics, that's the gene and the congenital defect associated with animal health. Then of course there are also you can also look at the ability of an animal to carry out normal biological function. So when you're looking at animal health, you're looking at the ability of an animal to carry out the normal biological function. This includes like eating. Of course, when an animal is not eating, it calls for concern. So it could mean disease, but there are other factors that could also cause an animal not to eat, and disease is just one of them. When an animal is not growing, of course, when an animal is not eating, it's not growing. When an animal is diseased, animal will not grow well. So there are other factors. So the essence here is not just to look at disease as a concept of all animal health entails. When an animal is not reproducing, of course, the animal is not in good health. So reproduction is a key indices of animal health. Then another thing is interaction with the environment. How does the animal interact with the other conspecifics? How does the animal interact with other uh, elements of the environment. Are they playing? Are they eating? Are they moving well? So all of this embodies animal health. So it is not just about food or about diseases. Now, there are factors involved or factors that would affect animal health. Some of these factors are biological factors, some of them are environmental factors, as we have started discussing, and some of them are management factors. So, and we are going to also be looking at these factors one after another and look deep into it to see how all of this affects the well-being, the mental and the physical well-being of our animals. Now, in biological factors, we are looking at issues relating that can influence the health, things that can influence the health of an animal, and in this we are looking at the genetic makeup. Now, this is important. Understanding health or animal health is important because this is one of the key things that you need, especially when you are starting your farm or any of the livestock production. So you need to understand the genetic makeup, you need to understand the species or the breed of the animal you in question, you need to understand the immune status of an animal, the age and reproductive status of an animal, then of course presence of disease. So these are the biological factors, and we are going to be looking at this deeply. Now, you may want to look at, when we look at the gene makeup, we are looking at, okay, how has this animal be performing. So you want to buy an animal today, of course it is necessary to look at the gene makeup of the parents. It is necessary to look at the history of the animal that you are buying. So if the gene of the father or the gene of the mother is in this case, depending on an animal, so if you're taking pigs for example, you're looking at the boar, you're looking at the sow. So if the gene of the boar or the gene of the sow is not what you are looking for, then you know that you don't have to you don't have to purchase this livestock. So the gene is important. Another thing is the species. Now, when we are looking at the species, if we are looking at the goats, for example, are we looking at West African dwarf, or we are looking at the Sahelian breed? So you see that it is important to have an idea of what breed you are dealing with or what species you are dealing with, because all of these have their own response to environment, that they have their own response to the nature of their feeding, and all of these are the indices that contribute to animal health. Now you are looking at immune status. Sometimes in the past, I have seen an animal that was presented in the church. It was presented for offering, and by me looking at the animal, I could tell that the animal immune is very low, because the animal was showing some signs that suggest that immune system is compromised. And I advised, okay, this kind of animal is not good to be kept, because they were actually considering keeping the animal to use as to mate other animals. But I strongly discourage that. So that only happened because I am in the know. I understand immune status of an animal when I see one. So if you are going to get an animal, you are starting your livestock production, it is important to take note of the immune status of the animal that you are going in for. it's also important to go with a professional who also understands the immune status of the animal that you are going for, so that you don't buy something that you will not like to have, or something that will not give you a result. On this, I want to say that there are more we are going to be looking at, but for today, let us, on this series, we're going to stop on here, and then by next series we will look at other factors, things like environmental factors and management factors. Then we'll be able to have a total understanding of some of these factors that is required to for the health status of your animal, or for you to be able to say that you know this, or you see these signs and you can tell that your animal is in good health. So I remain my humble self, Dr. Obinna Ugwu, the Animal Health Officer for Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project in Ugwu State. Thank you and God bless you. See you next time.
In on Enugu State, happy for Papa. In a beshi, in a baby. In a boku, in a baby. In a baby, they call battle. Jiro so, Yabana, El Pressio. Kibiaka na